I invite you, I invite Lauren to begin her story by reading one of the dimensions of one of the practices and to take about 4 or 5 minutes with the story. Thank you, Lauren.
Sure. Thanks. I kind of bounced around about what this was, but I finally decided it was under Mentor One Another, the community dimension, which says, we seek to develop mentoring relationships and a culture of mutual mentoring within all our communities. So the assignment was what this election means to me. And, I started in a place of privilege in my life. And so, I started voting, believing it was my civic duty and with a confidence that even if all my positions and candidates didn't prevail, my vote mattered somehow. And, as I've grown less insular and naive, I've come to appreciate that not every race is a good one. Not everyone can believe their vote matters, and not everyone who should get to vote does. In 2020, I was caring for my dad and feeling pretty discouraged about the state of the election. I went to Central Worship on Zoom, and after one Sunday service, Jeff Merkley spoke to us and he encouraged us to write letters for Vote Forward. And I started doing it. In a summer when I felt very little agency, this gave me some. And I said a small prayer over every letter. Imagine the person I was writing to. I hope they'd feel encouraged, that they'd feel a little bit loved, and know that they themselves and their vote mattered. And of course, I did pray they'd vote for Biden. I did vote forward letters again in 2022 and some Reclaim Our Vote postcards as well. Then this spring, my college roommate and dear friend, Sushila, ran for the U.S. House of Representatives. And as you know, she lost after an unprecedented amount of money was spent in that race against her and for one of her opponents. Much of that money came in after deadlines for reporting before the election, and the media has turned its attention elsewhere. But we now know that a lot of those donors had previously supported AIPAC, the pro-Israeli government PAC, and that many of them have given a lot of money to Republican candidates in previous elections. It was frustrating and sad to see up close how money can distort the system. For weeks afterwards, I was so discouraged because I felt like she hadn't lost fair and square. Every time I heard something about squad members being targeted by AIPAC or Elon Musk pledging $45 million a month to Trump, I felt a lassitude come over me. While I felt the threat of Trump, instead of taking action on the election, I found myself just feeling helpless and imagining I was going to have to spend a lot of time protesting should he win. Thanks in part to EcoFaith, I pulled out my pen and started writing and found a bit of that feeling of agency coming back. I take heart in writing my letters, imagining the people who get them, saying a little prayer with every one. May they feel loved. May they know they matter. May they vote for Democrats in the House and Senate and for Harris. Every Wednesday, my husband and I go to a coffee shop and write with friends. We're up to over 700 letters and postcards. This work is another kind of vote, a vote for the importance of voting, and a vote for the hope that letter writing can change things, even in a flawed system.